Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, for your Patreon cast for the week of March the 10th, it's going to be ByuN versus Maru from Katowice 2021. This is from the group stages, and these two players are both excellent. Top right-hand side, we have a Red Terran player. It is ByuN, and in the bottom left, it is Maru here on Deathaura. A big map for macro games. All right, so this was requested from Samacron, my longtime partner in crime. Hope you're enjoying this, Samacron. You didn't specify what matchup you wanted ByuN to be in, and I figured it would be good for a TVT. All right, so no proxies here on Deathaura. It is basically barracks inside each of their own bases. Not basically, it is that. Double gas, and we will see. I'm going to see one Raven, or let's say two Ravens, one from each player. This is the matchup where Ravens are used a lot in the early game. Anyway, this is a 4K cast, and let's see if both players make a Reaper. The answer is ByuN makes a Reaper and Maru makes a Reaper. All right, let's do this thing. So this Reaper's name is simply Hitch. I don't know. There's not actually a backstory there. Cool. So HYTCH. I'm not sure what this is exactly. And the other Reaper's name is Dwight Schrute. To prove to Michael that he is worthy of being assistant regional manager, he signed up to be a Reaper and show off his paintball skills. Paintball skills? Is that what Reapers are doing, is shooting paintballs? That might actually explain a lot, to be honest with you. Reaper out a little bit faster from ByuN. Not hugely faster, but he's actually going to Reaper here. This is more of a, you kind of have to do it, right? Against Zerg, yes, you can do it, but you don't have to. It's more of a scouting thing and a forcing lings out than anything else. But against Terran, if you don't have your own Reaper and your opponent has a Reaper, you're in a lot of trouble. So, pow, pow, pow. Actually delaying the expansion here quite a bit. That's kind of actually... Oh, he gets the SCV. ByuN. I'm liking this opening out of Hitch a lot. Dwight Schrute looking foolish in front of Michael, but no, he does make up for it. He does end up killing Hitch and escaping into the night. Well done. So Hellion in production, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We'll see Hellions. We'll see Cyclones. Might see a couple Siege Tanks. Very likely to see those. Again, a Raven, a Viking. We've got a Widowmine. What I like about early game TVT is pretty much everything is viable. You can make a couple Marines if you want. You can make some Marauders. You could definitely go for this Hellion Reaper stuff. Like I said, Ravens, Banshees, Vikings. I think we've seen maybe every unit possible except for Battlecruiser in the first, 5 to 10 minutes of TVTs. They're a lot of fun that way. And I know it's a mirror matchup, and I know a lot of people don't like mirror matchups, but TVT, honestly, again, the first 10 minutes is usually pretty darn fun. It's not usually that both players are just macroing up forever in the first 10 minutes and nobody really moves out. It's usually a pretty darn aggressive opening from these guys. Yeah, there's your Cyclone out of ByuN and a Medevac too. You just don't know. You just don't know what to expect, which is what I like about TVT. There's so many different things you can do that are all viable. It really makes it entertaining to me. Cyclone here from Maru too. So both players going for the Cyclones, which is nice. They will be able to counter each other's Cyclones. And see, what I'm talking about. You move out. In TVT, you do not sit at home. It's not necessarily, we're showing up to kill you, although sometimes that does happen. Sometimes an attack shows up, bad things happen. Dwight Schrute, Widowmine, death. Oh, terrible, terrible death there for Dwight Schrute. He did not want that to happen at all. So we're just going to drop a Medevac a Medevac, I said, right inside ByuN's main base. There's a supply depot here to scout this happening as fast as possible. Like I said, some Marines are out as well. The SCV is just running for it for the most part. The Cyclone is going after the Medevac, so there is no escape for these Hellions. But man, 9 SCVs down from Maru. Not bad. He got revenge. He avenged the death of his one SCV to that Reaper 10 times over. That is a 10 times avenge right there. That's fantastic. See, tank on the way for Maru, Raven on the way for Maru. So what I'm talking about. We see everything. We see everything in the first few minutes here. I like it a lot. No Marauders today, but it's definitely on the table. So Raven here for interference matrix on opposing tanks. on opposing Cyclones, on opposing Medivacs. These are generally the targets that you want for the Interference Matrix, which is sometimes called the Disable, but you can still move, so yar. Resources lost 600 to 750. So again, by resources lost count here, ByuN's okay, but losing those SCVs totally sucks. He's down 29 to 37 workers right now. Maru has a pretty significant lead at this stage of the game as far as economy is concerned. Excuse me. And yeah, got a Marine tank out here for ByuN. Maru sitting his own kind of Marine tank thing. The count is, it's going to be 10 Marines to 9 Marines. So both players pretty even at this stage. Marine versus Marine action. The Widowmine wants to come up first to bait some attacks out early. Maybe it's an interesting place to set up. Maybe you're trying to catch a Medivac. Goodbye, Marine. Whew. Hellion's pretty good against Marines in smaller numbers. Widowmine, there we go. Reburrows in this position, which I feel like makes a lot more sense. Is that another Raven from ByuN? He's going Dos Ravenos. Interesting. Very interesting play here. I like 2 Ravens. I mean, 1 Raven's good. 2 Ravens is better. I guess we have 2 Ravens from Maru too, so it makes a lot of sense. What you don't probably want to do is go Mass Raven. Mass Raven is not good. Pro tip from Falcon Paladin. It used to be good, but then it was always too good, and Blizzard didn't like it. Blizzard doesn't like it when anybody can mass up 1 unit and just win. Although, I mean, technically Adepts kind of follow that. Ah, Widowmine got picked off there. Siege tank fired on it. Raven was spotting for it. I really think that's it, though. Mass Raven was too viable mid-game, late game, and so Terran gave it the boot. So some pressure here. The question is ByuN going to move in? He's got a 3rd base behind it, which is so nice. Where's Maru's 3rd? He doesn't have one. So what this needs to be is some damage done with some auto-turret harass, as we're seeing here from Maru, possibly. Is he pulling back, though, is the question. I don't know. There's 3 tanks defending here from Maru. That's really hard to push in on, but you know what? The Ravens aren't here. They're coming home, but there was a window there where ByuN could have come in, disabled 2 of these tanks, and then pushed with his 3 tanks. It would have been a 3-to-1 scenario. This tank wasn't here yet and really gotten some stuff done. There you go. 3rd base landing for Maru now, a little bit off center, which is like slightly interesting. Is he going to fix that? Maru, it's off the landing zone. Okay, we're just going to off center the 3rd base. That's cool. I mean, it's fixable because it's an orbital command. You can lift it, but it's still a little bit strange. Anyway. So, yeah, ByuN decides not to be aggressive. He's like, you know what? Maru's got this figured out. I was able to get my 3rd base up and running faster than him. I caught up economically as a result, which is excellent. And now we're even. So he took some damage. His income is better than Maru's right now. And I think that's all he was going for. He wasn't trying to kill Maru. He just recognized he was behind and needed some way to catch up. We got ourselves a barracks, a barracks, a barracks, a barracks. A lot of barracks on the way. Marine tanking it for the rest of the day here, it looks like, for ByuN. Again, I'm not sure if that's a rest of the day thing, but yeah. Marine tank is the standard, at least for the mid-game in TVT. The early game, more interesting for sure. But the mid-game is a lot of Marines and a lot of siege tanks and a lot of positioning and a lot of trying to scan and see where your enemy is at all times. Because if you don't know where your enemy is, you're going to have a bad day. Hey, there we go. Cyclone pick off for free. ByuN gets a minor victory there. He is trying to do a bit of a drop down this left side. We'll see if Maru recognizes that's happening. ByuN's trying to make some noise on the right side so that Maru doesn't recognize what's going on. Which, it works against me, I can tell you that much. If you want to try to kill Falcon, attack him in one place, and then attack him in another place, and he will die. Alright, so, dropping in the main. This is not something that Maru saw coming, and so ByuN, you know what? We'll take some easy pickings here. A couple SCVs go down. Couple supply depots maybe getting focused here as well, trying to supply block Maru. He's not getting out at this point. He recognizes his medevac got killed. That was good. That was totally a fine attack. Supply blocked Maru at the very least. It's 145 to 126 supply right now. ByuN has a big army. Dude, ByuN's doing some good stuff in this TVT. I like this guy. 4th base is on the way here from ByuN. 4th base being built, not on location. For Maru, just at his 3rd base spot here, just to be a little bit safer. He's been a little bit safer overall here today, and can't really blame him. ByuN's been sharking around on the map. And if Maru doesn't know exactly where that army is at all points, it can get really dicey for him. So Maru coming up this left side. Is he actually going to catch? He decides to unload here, but no, there's too much from Maru. Hold up, high ground suddenly belongs to ByuN. He kills some stuff and just gets on out. Meanwhile, the 4th base is in trouble. These are Marines stimming forward, so the SCV gets killed. Is that a cancel? That's a cancel. ByuN does not have army in position to stop that, and there we go. Cancels the 4th base. Maru's 4th base is completing quite nicely. Trying to get a sandwich thing going here, but Maru slips the trap, decides to head on down south. Pretty much the only place to go. And yeah, it's still 181 rather, to 163 supply here in favor of ByuN. Resources lost a little bit more for ByuN here, about 300, but at this stage of the game, that's not a huge deal. And yeah, we're just setting up for a pretty nice mid-game here with Marines and with tanks. ByuN's 4th base is late as a result of that nice daring attack out of ByuN. Marines checking to make sure there's not a base here at any point in time. They get scanned, but are they worried about that? Nah, they're not moving at all. Our Space Marines are brave boys. They're gonna die, but they're brave. Those things often go together. Oh boy. Additional barracks in production here from ByuN. Starport's on the way from Maru. We do sometimes see battlecruiser transitions here into the mid/late game of TVT. It's a lot of fun. Keep an eye on that. He might just be trying to control the air by producing additional Vikings. Can he pull it off, though? I don't know. So ByuN's 4th base is now finishing, but Maru's is already upgraded to almost already upgraded to a planetary fortress. ByuN's maxed out. Maru's at 187 supply at 11 minutes, which is totally fine. Man, you Terran buddies that are playing StarCraft 2 ladder, you ever run into a opposing Terran player who has a maxed out army in 11 minutes and 30 seconds? I hope not, because that sounds terrifying. Maru, once again, just darting across the map and absolutely crushing it. Look at this. Look at this attack. Orbital goes down. All these SCVs are dead. There's no evacuation for them at all. Interference Matrix does get tossed down. ByuN is trying to avenge the death of that base and his 23 SCVs, but I don't know if that's happening, man. Anti-armor missile catches everybody. The Dorito missile is real. And Maru just knows he has to get out. He's not interested in pushing. He's not interested in killing ByuN right now. He's totally fine with killing an entire orbital and 23 SCVs and expanding himself. Oh, the other problem is there were a bunch of command centers being built here for ByuN for future bases, and those all got killed too, or canceled. Dude, resources lost. Oh, it's now 8,000 to 4,700. Yep, ByuN has been making some really, really terrible trades recently, and Maru's been forcing them. It's not like ByuN has engaged into something he shouldn't have been able to or shouldn't have done. This is Maru forcing ByuN to engage, and ByuN just doing his best with the situation at hand, you know? I like that ByuN's taking this right side base, though. That's going to help him catch up here just a little bit. Income is definitely favoring Maru, as we can see. High ground belongs to Anakin. Wait, Obi-Wan. Interference Matrix. Maru does not care who owns the high ground. Look at him just absolutely charging in. Both players have equal upgrades as far as the bio is concerned. ByuN's tank upgrades are a little bit better. But Maru is doing such a good job just not engaging unless he wants to. Right? Not being forced into engagements. Engaging into smaller groups of ByuN's army while ByuN's army is elsewhere on the map. That's exactly how you want to do this. Getting a tank, taking down a medevac. ByuN, he's in trouble. He's in an immense amount of trouble. Can he break into this? 3 tanks all spread out quite nicely. Maru at his backside. If he jumps in here, he's going to get attacked from the backside by Maru. And he knows that. He knows he's not maxed out, and he knows that Maru is. His right side base is getting... cancel and lift. Cancel the upgrade and lift. We're doing this instead, though. ByuN's army not doing super hot here. The reinforcements do come in from the south and from the left side. The planetary dies unnecessarily. At the very least, you could have lifted it, but I guess the Vikings are in the neighborhood anyway. So ByuN wins that engagement. Resources lost still 15,000 to 700, though. 16,000 to 700. Maru, it was even, and then he just started outclassing, man. He just absolutely started outclassing. Again, getting such great trades. That was a great trade there, too. The tanks get left behind because there's no tank evacs, as we all know. And Maru decides, you know what, let's not overextend. We killed a couple bases here. ByuN is effectively on 2 bases right now, maybe 3. And I am happily on 4. So let's just roll with that. Let's hold this high ground. Let's chase down ByuN's tanks and kill them all. Okay, 2 of them. Pretty good, though. 2 of the 3 is not bad. I guess 2 of the 5 is not bad. ByuN's 3rd base is back. His 4th base is rolling. Yes, he's coming up the right side with his tanks. Interference Matrix, triple Interference Matrix getting tossed down here. Absolutely beautiful plays out of Maru. There are no Ravens in this army for ByuN. Oh, he's in so much trouble. This might just be it. He doesn't have any Ravens. Having no spellcasters when your opponent has spellcasters is always a bad feeling. ByuN's trying to keep the pressure on Maru so he can rebuild his army and maybe deny Maru's ability to take a 5th base himself, although we have some bases ready to send out wherever they need to go for Maru. Don't worry about it. 3-3 is now done for Maru. 3-3 is just kind of getting started from ByuN too. This is adding up to a troubling situation for ByuN, who is back from military and has looked good in 2020. But this game does not seem to be going in his favor. He's down 50 supply. Maru doesn't have a bank, but neither does ByuN. Once again, just wandering in and interfering all of the tanks. Every one of these tanks interfered with and murdered. A Dorito missile goes down. We have some tanks setting up at Maru's attempt at a 5th base. And a single Marine on duty over here at the 4th of Maru, trying to get some damage done there too. He does take down a sensor tower. Well done, friendo. ByuN, actually, okay, all right. ByuN forcing the issue, killing a bunch of siege tanks, losing a bunch of stuff in the process. He's down to 125 supply. Maru took a hit too, but again, this number, 24,000 to 13,000, is not good. It's a little bit better than it was. ByuN has been making some good decisions recently as far as resources lost are concerned. Again, the interference matrix. Oh, the anti-armor missile dead. Maru comes out on top. Woo! ByuN taps out. Oh, Braddock was watching. What's up, Braddock? How you doing? Long time no see. Anyway, yeah, this game, it was pretty even. Maru gets the first blood. ByuN is able to kill about 10 or 11 SCVs on the counterattack with the Hellions getting dropped into into Maru is able to get the counterattack against ByuN dropping into his main base. Again, Maru able to get some pressure on keeping ByuN. Oh my gosh, ByuN keeping Maru inside his own base there. I'm getting these colors mixed up right now. Am I going colorblind? Maybe. Red, blue is not. Is that a thing? Anyway. ByuN puts some pressure on Maru, is able to expand, is able to keep up and catch up, but then Maru's daring attacks to the north, killing ByuN's 4th base, killing ByuN's 3rd base, killing ByuN's 5th base. If we look at this, a big number here is Planetary Fortress down, Orbital Command down, 3 command centers down. Maru is able to kill all that without losing a single base of his own, and that is a huge deal, especially in mirror matchups. 39 SCVs died for ByuN, 15 died for Maru. End of the day, resources lost 24 to 13,000, which is brutal. The income tab is not bad for ByuN right now, but it's just the sheer number of stuff that was killed that is really the problem for the Red Terran player. Not able to do it, loses both of his Ravens. Really going heavy on the Ravens. Look at Maru, 11 Ravens at the end of the game. He lost 3, but you know what? He had 11 more to go. ByuN made 2, lost both of them, and the ability to interference matrix and anti-armor missile whenever he wanted was, I think, a big deal for Maru. More in the sense that when he was already winning, that was a big part of it, was he was able to kind of get more ahead. But even in some of the engagements in the early stages, some really nice interference matrices just made it super hard at the end of the day. So fantastic, really great TVT for your Patreon cast this week. Hope you enjoyed it, because that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War. Oh, StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.